All right, this is the January 14th edition, Thursday edition of the Carolina Weather Video. A lot to talk about. We'll talk about a couple of storm systems heading our way. One maybe bringing some snowflakes to portions of the region, and also a big-time shot of Arctic air early next week. All that here as today's edition of the video rolls along. Starting off again this morning with a peek from the Banner Elk web camera, courtesy of resortcams.com. And it's a pretty chilly morning across the region, although not as cold this morning as what was taking place yesterday and the day before. But certainly still pretty chilly out there. Temperature 26 degrees there at Banner Elk. Other mountain temperatures this morning, 20s and 30s out there for a lot of the region. They're in the mountains, and really as you get out in the Piedmont, similar conditions. I'll show you the current readings here in just a moment. Whew. Yeah, the resolution going down a little bit on us on the feed here from one computer to another. But either way, there's the Greensboro Tower camera this morning where the temperature sits at 30 degrees. So, yeah, temperatures yesterday a bit on the cool side for highs across the region. In the Triad area, the result was some low and mid-40s out there for your highs yesterday afternoon. Charlotte area, generally 40s as well. There's our Wednesday rolled along. It'll be a really nice weather day today. Now, it's still a bit chilly this morning, 20s and 30s on the board here, but as we move forward in time, I think we make it well up into the 50s for your highs this afternoon. The radar very quiet across a lot of the region again this morning. You do have, again, some lake effect snow downwind to some of the Great Lakes areas and just some patches of light and moderate snow in Pennsylvania and New York and in northern New Jersey. But here in the northwestern Gulf, that is the very beginnings of our next storm system taking shape. And that's going to wind up being a pretty good rain producer here for a lot of the region by later tomorrow. Now, again, today the weather looks fantastic. This is the pick weather day of the week with sunshine throughout the day. And look at these highs across the region. Much milder here for this Thursday afternoon. Really, really nice stuff overall. Your lows tonight heading down into the 30s, so not too bad tonight into your Friday morning. Here comes that next storm system, though, marching our way. I anticipate a pretty healthy round of rain by tomorrow afternoon and into tomorrow night. Temperatures held in check due to the arrival of that rain, especially in the normal cold air damming spots, a bit of a hybrid type of cold air damming setup as that cloud cover and rain settles in late tomorrow. And sticking with the idea I've had going for a lot of the Piedmont of a ½ inch to maybe 1 inch of rain, there's the European model. Latest GFS computer model, fairly similar as well with the rain totals. So again, a ½ inch give or take, maybe some localized 3/4 inch or 1 inch rain totals, especially over toward I-95. Saturday itself looks pretty good. Maybe a little bit breezy, but temperatures looking pretty nice, 50s, maybe some low 60s here and there. But here's the GFS computer model solution, and again, I will show you the high-resolution version of this in just a moment, but that's the idea on the GFS. Here's the North American or the NAM model showing that precipitation trying to roll in here Saturday night into Sunday morning and Sunday afternoon in the eastern parts of the region. And again, you have the potential for a little bit of light snow. I'm going to stick with the same idea I've had of a potential for some of us to see a little bit of light snow, light being the key word, focused around Sunday morning. Now, before I get into the details of that, watch this big-time plunge of Arctic air coming our way Monday and Tuesday. That will be some really chilly stuff overall. All right, let's get into it here. Let me get things organized with the other files I want to show you. Let's start off with a look at the 0Z run of the GFS at the upper levels, okay? So this is where you have the southern branch piece of energy. This is valid Saturday evening, all right? So more consolidated piece of energy there in the southern branch of the jet stream, and it kind of interacts with this trough. And so by the time you get out to there, that is Sunday morning. Enough of a system there to pop a low pressure that lifts up fairly close to the Carolina coast and brings the precipitation. Now, on the other hand, here's the European solution. This is the 0Z run of the European from last night. This was valid Saturday evening. Then you go out to Sunday afternoon of the European. You have even one little piece left behind. Just not a good-looking setup to get precipitation to the Carolinas there. Canadian has come around a little bit on the upper levels to that GFS solution from yesterday, but still it's not overly impressive. In fact, let me show you the Canadian precipitation depiction, and I mean, yeah, there you go, just not much at all. Saturday night into Sunday morning. All right, so let me kind of give you an idea of how it looks like, how I kind of anticipate this evolving for us. All right, here's the GFS. First of all, this is the rain late tomorrow. Pretty decent little soaker. I still think some of the higher mountain spots could see at least some wet snow involved with that. But then we get out to our system for Saturday night, and this is valid daybreak Sunday morning. So this is the precipitation that falls late Saturday night into the daybreak time period Sunday morning. This is very, very light snow indicated from northeastern Alabama into northwestern North Carolina. You go on out into the next time period. This is valid Sunday early afternoon. So this is the precipitation through Sunday morning, and then finally the system pulls away thereafter. So you wind up with snow totals on the GFS across the region from the 0Z run that look like that. Focusing in a little bit closer, that's what it looks like in western sections of North Carolina. All right, so I'll get to that in just a second. That was the 0Z run of the GFS. Let me show you the 6Z run, the latest one just in-house, and it's fairly similar. There's your light snow trying to break out overnight Saturday night into Sunday morning in many of the same areas. You go a step later, and there's your little period of some light snow, especially focused up around the Triad, but even down to where the Charlotte area, you could certainly see some snowflakes mixed in. You wind up with a snow chart from the latest GFS model that looks like that. Focusing into the western Carolinas, again, there's your snow chart. Now, again, on the European model, it is not the case at all. All right, so there's the European with the rain late tomorrow. We go out to the next potential system Sunday morning. That is Sunday morning. There's early Sunday afternoon, and there's just not much there at all. So the bottom line with that Saturday night and Sunday morning system is I'm going to maintain the idea of the chance of some light snow in some spots, especially I-85 points north and west. For a period of some light snow. Now, again, light is the key word. This does not, let me stress that, this does not look like a major storm system, but it may be enough to whiten the ground on some grassy areas here or there. But the trend has been toward more of a suppressed southern system, and it wouldn't shock me if we wind up seeing no snow at all. But again, I'm going to maintain for this morning's forecast package the idea of some light snow in some spots in the region Saturday night and Sunday morning. Now, let me go on to the next item to talk about, and that is a good shot of cold air heading on in. Here's the 850 millibar, the 5,000 foot temperatures from the European model, valid Monday morning rather. That is still a big time shot of cold air. GFS is basically on board with this idea as well. So you have high temperatures across the region on the GFS Monday that look like that. That's cold stuff. Now you have some downsloping wind, so you'd wind up a little bit warmer than that most likely. And then there's your Tuesday morning lows. That is cold stuff. And again, the European model is generally in agreement. Before I close up the video, we'll go out quickly to a couple of longer range ideas here. Later on next week, let's see, here we go right here. There's another little system that tries to approach from the west. That is the previous GFS run, valid Tuesday evening. Okay, so that is Tuesday evening on the GFS, and let me grab this chart right here. That's overnight Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. A weakening system trying to move in that would try to spit out a few snowflakes here and there in parts of the region. The European model had that to some extent. Let me see if I can grab that chart right here. Yeah, that's Wednesday morning on the European. Again, some light precipitation trying to approach from the west. Doesn't look like a terribly big deal. Now, there's another system that'll roll in late in the week. The Canadian model indicated enough cold air around that you had a period of some wintry precip with that one Friday morning of next week. A little bit of a warmer scenario with that one on the European and the GFS model. But the bottom line is I think I stuck one more chart in here. Yeah, right here. All right, so this is the European ensemble mean, and this is valid all the way out at the 26th into the 27th of the month. And I still like the overall pattern, some ridging out west, still indications of an active southern branch of the jet stream, some cold air close by, although verbatim at this time frame it's not very cold in the southeast, but there's some cold air nearby. So I still kind of like the idea of where the pattern is heading if you want potential for additional winter weather threats down the road later into January. and into February. So that's it. I know that's a lot to digest here. Bottom line, a little light snow possible Sunday morning in some spots. Doesn't look like a big deal. The system Tuesday and Wednesday of next week at this point doesn't look like a big deal either. A stronger system late week. I'm leaning toward that being a little bit too warm for significant wintry precip, but that certainly bears watching. That's a long way off and a lot can change. All right, that is it for this marathon edition of the Carolina Weather Video. Thank you for watching, everybody. Have a great day, and God bless.